You already know what the fuck's going on. It's your boy Smokey P. This is another episode of Puffin' with P, and I'm here with...
What's good, guys? My name's JC.
Hey.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it, bro. I'm glad you came through.
Man, it's a pleasure, bro.
Yeah, this is the season finale. We had to kick it off right, and I was telling you earlier, everybody who's come on to this Puffin' with P podcast interview series has, mentioned your name or your event, Culture and Cannabis. So, we had to end it the right way and bring in the guy, behind all of that and let people get to know you and what you're all about.
That's just a blessing, bro. I've been an event marketer for years. I fell in love with the cannabis industry over the last 3 years producing our event, and it's just been an inspiration to get to know everybody, and it's just been a blessing. And thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
I was there when I first met you for the first Culture and Cannabis that Blunttonous ever attended. Was that location in that alleyway? Was that the original spot you started it at, or where along the journey did I enter and meet you?
No, it's great. A lot of people think that Rebar, I think the venue that you're talking about is the outdoor, the only outdoor venue in the heart of the art district, which is some interesting details I want to get into right after. But yeah, we did not get started there. Okay. So we had been doing Culture and Cannabis for almost a year when we first got that. It was probably I think we had done 8 to 9 experiences when we did that.
Definitely an experience, man.
But that's where we blew up, what I mean? And we had the opportunity, shout out to Derek, the owner of Rebar, they gave us the opportunity to go over there. He did eventually ask us to leave, but we left, because,
Bigger
I get it,
it's progression.
And it's cannabis, and it's
still murky water.
We're not all the way to where it should be, and you know what I mean. And our event, blew up there and started to get to. We had Corrupt. Right?
Yeah, I was there for the Corrupt show. That was when it was.
There was
really
1,000 people there and 30 vendors, and he just looked at me. He was like, "JC, we're just not ready for this." Everybody was smoking weed, and
it became something bigger than what he thought.
Yeah, he was like, "You got to go," and I was like, "Man, thanks for the opportunity." He shook his hand, kept pushing.
Yeah,
but
that's business, man. Yeah. And I like to hear that we can do good business and then continue to not burn bridges and move forward and
that's important, right?
Very important. Because
I think a lot of people. let's just stick on that shit.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that we do is it's responsibility, right? With what we're doing, right? And with everything that you're doing, pushing the culture and everything, it's
right.
We're making history low key. You know what I mean?
We're living it.
It's not like we're super big people or whatever, but we are moving a culture, right? And so it does come with some responsibility and
definitely
burning bridges, and burning bridges happens a lot in cannabis, especially how what phase of the culture it is now.
Yeah.
Because not everybody understands it, right? And so just a message, to people trying to create and do their thing in the space. You're gonna get told no. You're gonna get asked to leave. The stigma still exists,
still
right?
To this day.
But you can't get salty, and you gotta just keep it moving and do the right thing.
Ooh, like Spike Lee said, do the right thing. Yes. And with the cannabis being such a a healing plant, and everybody loves the plant, you would think that the love would spread beyond the plant. Love for the ones in your space, and love for the ones helping push, like you say, push the culture. And Vegas, with us being in the beginning stages, we do have a lot of different people trying to push that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad to say that I have one of those special people pushing the culture here with us today. You have the biggest non-consumption cannabis event in Las Vegas, I can say. I've been a part of. That happens every month. You're consistent, you know what I'm saying? I don't really see where people could come with negativity with your name, because you've done such a positive, so many positive things in the neighborhood and in the community. I know you also were working with a dispensary. What was the name of that?
New Leaf.
New Leaf. Explain your role with New Leaf, and I guess how things expanded with that, and let people know you're more than just a promoter of this cannabis event. You have done things a little bit more in depth.
So I have a day job too, right?
Don't we all?
I don't just throw weed events, you know. I mean, just to get, you know, I am a promoter. I am just a marketer, but I've been doing it for a long time, so I've grown through that process, and
you know the ins and outs.
Yeah,
of
you know, I used to work in nightlife, and I do a lot of events with house music. I'm an old DJ, and so I'm an old event marketer, and you know, I started to get serious about my career and thinking like, you know, this is what I'm good at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't, you know, I dropped out of school in 10th grade. You know, my parents wanted me to go to college. Like a lot of shit didn't really work out, you know. And I was this type of person that just participated in the things that made me happy.
Yeah.
And not to sound selfish, but the things that I was good at, you know, and you know, if you're good at stuff and you participate in those things, it usually makes you happy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
so that's what I did, man. I've been doing events for fucking 20 years. You know, I'm 43. I started doing events when I was 20. You know.
Yeah.
And but to wrap all that, to catch it all up, you know, I started a marketing agency called Stripside Management Group. Focused on helping, you know, restaurants and bars on the strip, right?
Okay.
Strip side, right?
Nice.
And our focus was event marketing and social media management, because that's what we focused on, right? And when we launched our business, the only way that I knew how to launch my business was through an event, right?
Yeah.
And since we were trying to sell services to businesses, right, we decided to create a business mixer series, right? But if you ever been, I don't know if you've ever been to a mixer, right, or like a networking event. A lot of them are like hella boring, right?
Very boring.
super boring, right?
Hello.
It's like uncomfortable, right? And so we wanted to create like a hip, cool, and just fun networking experience, right? Okay. And so we did that event on Tuesdays. It was on a rooftop. It was called Networking Informative. We had DJs, and it was at the Foundation Room. It was at the Palms. It was at the Ghost Bar. It's gone now.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's
at the Rio. At Palms.
At Palms. Yeah. I think it's Apex now.
All right. They're always switching it up.
Yeah. I think we did it at the Commonwealth, the Institution. Institution, but. Inspire, that rooftop.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
But
downtown.
What happened was, so the cannabis industry came to, started coming to our mixers. And so, Pisos.
Yeah, one of the original dispensaries out here over on like Flamingo in Maryland, or Trop in Maryland.
Yeah, shout out to Pisos. They have a lot of...
got a buddy that works there. Shout out Louis. Yeah, Louis. Yeah.
But the owners came to one of our mixers, and they were like, "Hey JC, you know, we want to, we want to market our dispensary, right? But we're under the strict guidelines of the marijuana advertising guidelines, you know, set forth by the city."
This is a while back now.
This is 3 years ago. It's about 3 years ago.
That's all changed because there's billboards with cannabis.
Well, it still exists, right? But they couldn't really figure it out, because what it was it had to be a certain verbiage, and then you had to, you know, submit your verbiage to the state. It had to go through like an approval process, right? And so, like, for things like billboards, you know, billboards are expensive, right? Some of the billboard contracts are like $5,000 a month just for one board, right? And so I think Pisos was kind of like a neighborhood type of shop when they first started, and it was medical, right? This is
before recreational hit, yeah.
And they're like, so they didn't want to spend a lot of money, so they're like, you know, maybe we can get this guy JC, throw a couple of events, and help us sell some more weed. I mean, that's basically what happened.
Yeah.
And I know you asked about New Leaf, but I gotta build it up. I gotta like
you know,
kind of tell the story.
Tell us the backstory on how we got to where we're at.
And so, and to be honest, you know, when we were trying to sell our businesses or our services to some of the businesses on the strip, we were having a lot of trouble, right? You know, like, let's don't forget, like, I'm like a street promoter. Like I spent many years on the street corner handing out flyers. Like, that's what I did, right? Like, you know. And it could have been my own event, but that's you know, that's who I was, you know. So I was trying to figure out like how to start my business, how to like, you know, how to get clients on the strip, like how to like really get paid. I got kids, I want to feed my family. Like, how can I make this happen, and start my own business, and I was having trouble. And honestly, we weren't getting a lot of clients. And actually, we're getting like 0 clients. But we still kept face in the community with that mixer, right?
Yeah.
And so it was just interesting because what we wanted to do was pitch to the hospitality, the bars and the nightclubs, but it was the cannabis industry that came to us. Okay. And it was first pesos, And I wasn't really in the cannabis industry, really like in the cannabis culture at this time.
Okay.
I have smoked weed my entire life. Shout out to the patients, but I just never was like, I never realized really why I smoked weed. Okay. I just knew that I smoked it every day, and I loved it.
You loved it.
You know what I mean? And I didn't really understand the ins and outs of the patients and the industry, but yeah, Pesos was our first client.
That's dope.
For Strip Side Management Group. And
you never would have thought in a million years it would have been a cannabis brand that was calling you for your services.
Right.
Okay. That's usually how it happens. Everything's by opportunity and chance. I think I was talking with Wing King, you know what I'm saying? And everything is based on if you want to jump at that opportunity and understanding like, okay, this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I asked JD, we were meant to be in the NFL right now playing ball with, the big dogs. And once that didn't happen, I was like, well, I love, my major in college was broadcast journalism. So I always had that aspiration to want to work for ESPN and know the sports or be down there on the court doing that kind of thing. And then, I understood I loved cannabis. And then I'm like, man, I had to look back, I'm like, damn, I've been smoking weed over a decade now. And, I love the culture, I know the culture. And that's what gravitated me towards starting my brand and doing this podcast and doing the interviews. And like, I'm getting to take that liking to the interviews or like you stated earlier, you find what you're good at and you run with that. So it's like, hey, I love cannabis. These interviews are going well. Let's go down that route and see how we can manifest with that. And that's how we got here today with you sitting here across from me. And I know you're doing a podcast, some new podcast stuff. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
But that's just cannabis, right?
Yeah.
Cannabis transcends everything. It's a powerful plant, brings people together. And but I need to say one more thing about that like where that story ended up.
Okay.
Because Pesos wanted us to create. They wanted us to run their social media, and then they wanted us to implement an events program.
Okay.
And so that's kind of like my process, right? So I'm a content marketer is what they call me now. Yeah. And so I create content and then release it on social media. But I do that through the event process, right? And so that's the services that we sold was we'll do events for you, and then we'll create content at those events, and then we'll release that content on social media, and we'll build out your brand that way, right? Okay. And so Pesos paid us, X amount of dollars to implement that program. And so we did it, right?
It worked out well?
Well, the event that we created was Culture and Cannabis. And we created it for Pesos.
So that's where the birth of Culture and Cannabis.
That was the birth, right? Yeah, that was the birth of
Pesos.
And I did it collabing with them, creatively, right? Yeah. And so I had to work with them and what they wanted to do, and I don't want to put Pesos on blast or whatever, but like there were some mistakes made because that event was a consumption event, and we had we had consumption there. Let's put it that way. Yeah. but it was by major brands, and we had and it was free, and it was free tacos. and when you came, you had to RSVP so we get your email so we could communicate with you, and then they got free Pesos product.
And were these for only medical patients when you started this event, or was it
for anybody?
Okay, it was
definitely. This is before it went rec.
Okay, so it wasn't even supposed to be consumption, but it was for everybody to attend to get involved in the culture of what Pesos and you guys had.
I was trying to sell more weed for Pesos. I was trying to get more people in their store through the event process.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And so we're like, all right, we'll do this event because I know how to get the word out. I know how to create events, get people
to come out. Yeah.
Our mixers, when Pesos approached us, our mixers were like 250 people on Tuesday nights from 7 to 9. They were like popping ass mixers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we knew how to do that, and that was the goal. You know. But everybody got letters from the state that next day.
Wow.
And we lost our first client.
Damn.
So yeah, we lost that client, and you know, I love those people over there. They still love us too.
Yeah.
But we kept the concept and kept going.
Definitely, because it was, you knew what you were doing, and look what it's turned out to be. All the people who I guess didn't see what you saw and kind of left it behind. But it's amazing to see how you've grown it out into this. I don't even know, like full on. There's you have like modeling going on. It just shows you have the live entertainment, all local talent. It's definitely one of the best experiences in Vegas that you can get. It's still off the strip, would you say? It's downtown, or still basically on the strip? It's just further downtown.
It's in the art district.
It's in the art district. It's still, I feel like the art district is the heart of Vegas in a sense, you know, as far as the culture goes, and what, you know, that's where all of our art is. That's where all of our vintage stores and all the original feel of Vegas is still intact. So if you haven't been down there, please come attend the next Culture and Cannabis. What date will that be?
April 5th.
Okay. April 5th. Come out to April 5th. But,
so New Leaf, like my role at New Leaf, but I do want to like drop some nuggets of
drop some seeds for us.
Like the reason why I created Culture and Cannabis, right? And all the events that I had when I started my business is because it was networking, right? Networking is where you meet people, business development. It's how you get deal flow.
Yeah.
Right? Like you need deal flow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, deal flow. When you said it, I like that.
Because if, you know, I mean, nobody likes to go around knocking on doors. You know what I mean? But if you can create something where people, you know, want to be a part of, and they can come, and they come to you, right? And then you can talk to them and get that deal flow happening. So that's why we did it, and you know, it worked with Pisos, and through that same process, that's how I got the New Leaf contract, right? And so that was our second big contract for Strip Side Management Group, right? And it was a big one, right? Because New Leaf is vertically integrated. They have a store in Las Vegas, and they also have a store in Lake Tahoe.
Oh, okay.
And so
that's why you were always in Tahoe doing that. Okay.
And so it's the only marijuana dispensary in
Reno and Vegas.
No, in Tahoe.
Oh, I mean Tahoe.
In North Lake. In North Lake. So.
They're the only dispensary.
The only dispensary in North Lake Tahoe.
Nice.
And so this I was like literally right on the lake. It's beautiful. It's fucking gorgeous.
You got me wanting to go drive up.
So you can go on the lake in the summer, and then in the winter it's like 5 minutes to I think Mount St. Rose and a few other mountains where you can go snowboarding. So it's super dope. But yeah, so that's what our role there was. We did all our social media. We did their events. We did all their designs. I managed all their media ad buys. So, you know, I bought advertisement from Dope Magazine. I bought advertisement from
Dope Magazine.
Vegas Cannabis Magazine. We designed and managed all those accounts for their billboards. We designed their website. We did their logo. We did everything.
So just a rebuild.
Top down rebuild from going.
Yeah, it's like getting an old classic and just bringing it back to life, basically. But this was like a new shell, since it's a new business, new company.
It was like the first client really let us do what we do. You know what I mean? And it was
kind of no
cool,
strings,
you know?
no holding you back.
Right. You know
That's what's up. Those are always great opportunities when you get clients, or it could even be a business partner that just believes in your vision, and it's just kind of like, okay, I know what I know, but I know you know what you know, and I'll allow you to do that, and just say, you know, that's the best. When I work with him on any of my content, it's more so like I give him the idea, the concept, and then from there I don't have to really tell him much. It's like he gets it. So in a sense, I understand exactly that feeling that you get when it's like, all right, man, I trust somebody. That gives you a lot of confidence to go in there and, you know, really give it your best, because you know that this is all me, and if it wins, I know it was a good win. If it loses, I know it was all on me. So it's just one of those opportunities. I feel like when people put that, give you that opportunity, you always give your best because you know what, kind of what's at stake for you as a businessman yourself.
I'm getting high, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty high.
What are we smoking on?
That right there that we were smoking is some Nash OG, I like to call it. That's the assist. It will assist you to get really high. That's why you call it the Nash OG, because it's gonna get you where you want to be. I'll finish off the doobie. I love hitting the doobies. That's the best part about smoking blunts, is hitting it at the end.
Shout out to Nevada Uplifted.
I love my guy Jose, man. I really, he did some time getting ready with the, what is his he does the billboards as
Vegas
well.
44?
Vegas 44. So if you guys need any billboard needs or anything, you can go holler at my guy Jose at Vegas 44. Oh, shout out my guys in there, the Baked Boys.
Baked Boys.
Show that. I can't really. The dope ass ad inside of that, man. Bring it back. Shout out to my guy Mars Khalifa. We had the Big Boys on earlier this season. We had a lot of the guys who are familiar with your event. Now, tell the people, how many vendors did you guys have? Let's not even say at the pesos phase. Like once you started like in the alleyway, let's just call it that. When you came, let's fast forward to the alleyway. How many vendors did you start with at that event?
So I think we did 9 events there. So 9 months we were there. We had anywhere from, I think the most we had 22.
Okay.
But there were sometimes we had like 9 or 12.
And that was when you were first starting, you probably had 9 or 12. I remember the first event I came to, about solid, I would say 12 maybe.
Yeah.
And I think it was because it was a windy night, and but I had attended the one before that and I had checked it out, and that was a good one. But as far as like now, how many on average do you book for your events now?
So this month we have, for the event coming up on April 5th, we have 38.
Wow.
38. That includes art, community cause vendors, nonprofits, food vendors, cannabis brands.
Okay. Now, with your nonprofits that usually come, who are some of the bigger names that come out on that end for the people who are interested in getting into the cannabis space, to maybe actually support the litigation and all the stuff that comes with? Because I know a lot of us who come out to the culture in cannabis aren't necessarily tied into city visits and all that, trying to advocate for laws and things of that nature. And I know that those people attend your events, so people who are looking to get active in that place, name some of those people who we can get in contact with or see at the culture in cannabis.
Yeah, so we have Normal's there, Las Vegas Normal.
Yeah.
It's the oldest marijuana or cannabis advocacy group in the world.
Wow.
But it's the Nevada chapter. They participate with us just about every month. I think this month they'll actually be in Reno for the Reno Cannabis Convention, which is on the next day. Actually the same weekend.
Oh, I didn't know that was going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out there. Shout out to Reno Cannabis Convention. It's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
It's gonna be what is that more? Who's gonna be there at that event?
It's all licensed brands.
Okay, so more people actually growing and things like that.
In Reno, yeah, dispensaries, brands.
Nice. Okay.
Ancillary brands like tech brands.
Will you be up there capturing any content?
We're gonna exhibit, and then I'm gonna speak on Sunday.
Right on. They can catch you up there speaking. That's a nice. See, my guys, you got to check my man JC out. He's been in the culture a lot longer than a lot of you guys assume. He's making headway, doing a lot for us out here in the Vegas market. Really excited. I didn't know about that event, so I'll have to look into that.
Yeah,
see if I can drive up there. And
it's a 6-hour drive. So
yeah,
it's not bad. It's actually beautiful. Northern Nevada is fucking gorgeous.
I went to Reno my freshman year of college.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I wish I could live there. So You know, maybe that's one of the you know, get some bread and
be
get
careful what you say. You might end up there. Right?
Man, well, you know, but like you say, if you like the wilderness, you like the forest and things like I said, forest. It's nice. Mm-hmm. You got your lakes, you got the running water. You know, it has a nice vibe. If you want to gamble, you still get your pay. I can still go put my parlays in and try to hit big when I'm up in Reno. So it's you know, look, the biggest little city in the world. It's still, you know, something to see, and it's places to explore. They got like the world's biggest like sports store out there. I forgot the name, but Shields. Yeah, Shields. Yeah, shit's huge. It's like humongous. They have like each portion of the store is like as big as any other store for sporting goods, period. So if you ever get a chance, go up to Shields while you're up. So you got the most recent Culture and Cannabis coming up on April 5th. Explain to the people a little bit more about your most recent experience and what's going to be going down, who's headlining, who you got performing. I know it's always a different lineup, so maybe put some of the key players out there for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a lot of new things happening, right? We added 2 new elements to the event because we want to be more than just an event, right?
I like that.
We're not just a party. We are a community. It's more, and we want it to be more, and we just want to create more value. And so we added a vendor mixer.
I haven't been able to attend that yet, but I'm gonna make the time to.
You gotta come check it out. It's a different experience. So we have we're up to about like 40 vendors for every experience, and we wanted to create more value for them, kind of help them. You know, highlight them, get them connected to some of the other vendors in the room, because listen, there's a lot of vendors doing business with each other. You know?
Definitely, I know. We're all networking.
We're all connected, you know, and so I just wanted to kind of add more value to that experience. And then some of the vendors get up and speak, right? So it's like 30 minutes of just kind of networking where we're just chilling, music or whatever. And then for the last hour and a half, we have like live talks. And we do
like a TED talk.
Like a TED talk, kinda, but
a high talk.
A high talk, yeah. Exactly. Right. And we do about 5 or 6 people, so it's just like bang, bang, bang.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's interesting, right? And it gets there's so many, like, look at you guys. There's so many people doing incredible things, right? And we just want to blow that up as much as we can. So we did that, and then lastly we started a podcast, right? So
speak about that.
Yeah, I mean we did a podcast all year last year for New Leaf, and
that was like every time you would go up to Tahoe, you would do the live podcast and do the live show with the panel.
Yeah.
I caught that a couple times. I really enjoyed that. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I think like if I could bring any value to that, to like you or anybody watching, like I wanted to do a podcast at New Leaf, but I knew that I didn't know how, right? And I worked with, a guy like your camera guy, right? Like Chuck, shout out to Chuck, was my kind of creative partner. We didn't really know how to do it, but we just wanted to just get started and go. And so we didn't do like an official podcast. It was like New Leaf Live.
Okay.
Right? So it was a live Instagram and Facebook session.
All right,
And then we filmed it with the microphones and all that shit. But that just gave me the experience to produce a proper podcast that we have now.
Okay.
With Culture and Cannabis. So,
what's the name of your podcast?
It's Culture and Cannabis on YouTube.
Okay.
And it lives everywhere. Anywhere podcasts, audios are heard.
You can go find it.
You can go find it, and it's also on YouTube.
For the live video version of it.
Yeah. So we've had some incredible people on already. We had Red.
Yeah,
Red.
I remember that was your first episode, right?
Our first episode. He's kind of like the music director for Culture and Cannabis. He does all the bookings and stuff now.
Ah, nice.
So I can't deal with it.
It's hard.
It is hard. And I think Red is amazing. Young legend. He's super talented, and I think he's perfect for us. So let him do that. But then we had Evan Martyr.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Evan Martyr?
Yeah, Evan Martyr is like a fucking rock star, right? He's a bartender on the Strip, and
they're usually rock stars.
he left that to open Matrix Cannabis.
Oh, okay.
Literally just a normal guy like you and me. We figured out the game, in 2010.
Decoded.
figured it out, opened, then we had David Tran, and we had a bunch of other people.
So. Yeah, a guy from Dope.
Yeah. So
what his position is he with Dope?
I think they gave him the VP of brand for High Times, something like that. But yeah, I think he's partner too, something.
Okay, right on. Yeah, I got to meet him in person. That's one of the few people I see in the community. He comes to Vegas a lot. I need to catch up and say what's up to my man.
David Tran.
That's he's a cool guy, man. He just had a cool interview on some. Oh no, it's your show. Because I saw a clip and it just flashed through my head for a second. I'm high, so I was like, yeah, I saw him in the interview. It was your interview. I was like, yeah, that's a good. Definitely, I remember like just in that clip he was talking about. He really was getting in depth about the role cannabis played in his maturation and just meeting people and just it was really. I know you really get in depth with your interviews on the podcast as well. Don't you have a host or is it?
Yeah, we have a host. Full-time Tony. He's
Full-time Tony.
Full-time Tony.
I like that name.
He's a hustler, man. He's 24 years old. He's the organizer of the Reno Cannabis Convention. So super hustler boss.
Tapped in.
Yeah. 24. But yeah, Sober Junkie.
Oh yeah, Sober Junkie's gonna be performing, right?
He's been performing at our event for the last 2.5 years. It's like our main resident. I think he just won Best Cannabis Artist.
Yeah, congratulations on that, man. I saw you've been putting in work at these culture and cannabises since the time I've been coming and just been doing his thing, man. So shout out to Sober Junkie for winning that. Oh, the awards for Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Cannabis Awards that's coming up on what is that? April. Is it March 31st?
Yeah.
March. It was either March 31st or April 1st. Yeah, March 31st. So you guys come out to that award show and check that out. It should be. I think it's their second event or.
I think this is the first one. I don't know.
Okay. Well, however it goes, come out and support that. That'll be at the Hard Rock. I believe you can still get tickets for that event. Were you nominated for anything?
I think we won Best Cannabis Event in Las Vegas.
Okay. Yeah. There were so many categories. I didn't vote for them all. I'm sorry, guys. I voted on a couple. I was like, there's a lot of categories. I started scrolling down. I was like, I thought I was done. And then I get to the bottom, I'm all clicking submit, and they're like, you're supposed to submit for each section. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go scroll back up and hit submit. So yeah, shout out to everybody who won their category, and we'll be out there supporting, checking that out. I think they're gonna have Loud Patch J's hosting or something like that. He's a dope guy from Cali. A lot of big names from Cali will be coming over to be, at the star-studded event down at the Hard Rock. I know you'll be there, so we'll catch Blunttonous there in the stands. We'll be out there, supporting the event. But what's next? You got so much going on. I know you're moving now. You're freed up from all these different jobs that you've been doing. So now, what's your main focus now that you have a little free time to?
So yeah, just we could talk a little bit about it. I partnered with a couple people, and we're gonna start dropping some products. So,
right on. You want to specify what type of products, or are you what kind of space are we leaning towards?
Well, we're gonna start with CBD, right? Just because.
Nice, that's the move. Man.
Everybody loves CBD, first of all, right?
It makes you feel good.
And but we also. We love the game, you know what I mean? We love the business part and all that stuff, and CBD's a good place to start, you know what I mean? And you don't have to get a THC license, right?
Yeah, not at all.
So you can literally start a CBD company for, not a lot of money, so
it's acquirable.
Easy barrier to entry, and we wanted to see if we could figure out. The thing about CBD right now, there's a ton of kind of trash CBD, right? And
don't be buying that shit from 7-Eleven.
And here's the thing: get your labs, get to know what you're taking, right? Especially on a medicinal level. And we saw that, and we just wanted to make sure that we made an amazing product with killer story and amazing branding. And so we'll be dropping that. Probably at the end of March, not March, but April.
Well, it's say March is
we are in the end of March.
March is over, man. So be looking out for some new products. Now, what would that name be dropping under?
So it's going to be
wraps as well. Or?
No, we can talk about it. Right. It's going to be called 5 Oaks. Yeah.
5 Oaks?
5 Oaks.
Oaks.
Yeah,
oh,
like
okay.
an oak tree. Yeah.
Okay, 5 Oaks.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
So are you guys planning any like entry points, any stores that you know you're trying to release at?
We're going to start online.
Okay.
Online only.
Okay, 5 Oaks out of Vegas. Right on. So we'll be checking for that. You already know JC already has the, people with the eye, so I'll be keeping an eye out for, what that product. You got to give me a sample.
We're going to drop it at Culture and Cannabis. Yeah.
Have some.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a ticket available so you can buy that product.
Included with the
ticket.
Just so you can.
Bam.
That's smart. Just should include it.
Yeah.
Factor it in. You know what I'm saying? But that's all right, and that'll probably be for May. That'll be for May's Culture and Cannabis. So check out for the debut of 5 Oaks CBD products at the May 5th Culture and Cannabis. Whoa, May 5th?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah.
Whoa! You heard it here first, man. Cinco de Mayo, come out. Culture and Cannabis is going to be going up. 5 Oaks will be out there debuting the product. Any other interesting ventures right now? Because I'm excited to hear more about that.
But no, that's it, man. Just trying to
and staying steady with this event that we're
just trying to keep it pushing and stay healthy and doing the right thing.
Looking healthy, man. You're looking good. You know what I'm saying? Staying on top of it.
Good too, bro. I
appreciate it. I'm trying, man. It's these. You got to ride the wave sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's, with that being said, don't ride the wave. Start your own, man. And that's what my guy JC did. He's been pioneering this thing from the beginning, being able to provide us with the best culture cannabis experience. You know what I'm saying? Since day one, he's been trying to innovate and bring us different ways. And that's one thing I can say. When I first met you, I was like, this is the cannabis guy. I was like, when I first met, I was like, this is the cannabis guy. And then after I met you so much and just been around you and seeing what you were doing for the cannabis, I was like, okay. I was like, he's not just like some guy putting together an event for the culture. You know what I mean? As they call it, culture vultures. You know what I'm saying? People who don't indulge in what they are trying to make money off of or try to move forward, you know what I'm saying, or progress. Like, who are you to move something forward if you don't partake in the actual movement of what's going on? So definitely this is somebody who I've gained respect in over the time I've known you, just by seeing what you've done, you know what I mean, with your progress in the brand and just outside of that, you know what I mean. So just wanted to tell you that in person. And it's just we had to have one of those, like I say, I had to have moment to bring you through and end the season finale off the right way with the guy who's really kind of pushing it right now for us. So, once again, I want to congratulate you on everything that you got going. We're going to be checking for the 5 Oaks, Culture and Cannabis, April 5th.
That's it.
What else am I missing, man?
I think we got it covered, man.
Yeah, we got it. You know what I mean? I think we're going to keep doing a lot of positive things in the community. I think we'll be collabing on some things here, working, however we can to make sure that the experience continues to grow.
That's the thing. It's a community, That's what it is.
That's what we're here for. And I think, everybody in the community respects you. And I think we're going to continue to keep doing what we're doing. So you want to just give any shout outs to anybody who helped you along the way, or you want to sound off on before we wrap it up?
I think we're good, man. Just thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate you.
No, it's been a hell of a show. I'm glad you guys could tune in for another episode. It's been one hell of a season. We're going to bring you season 2 here in a couple weeks, so be ready for that. Peace.